What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Born to Heal. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, aka the biggest heel on the planet, Tyler Heavy T. Soto. What's going on, my friend?
The Falcons signed Justin Simmons and traded for Matthew Judon, and we're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, well,
It's
the
all
wrestling fans care about that, but yes.
Well, you know what? Some do, because there are plenty of wrestling fans in the Deep South.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe a lot of Falcons fans are watching Born to Heal this week or listening to it on now Apple.
Yes,
we're now on Apple Podcast. You can hear us on Apple, baby. We're making it. We're going places, Heavy T.
We'd love to see it. Love to see it.
We do. Well, we finally have a kind of a down week here.
That's kind of nice.
And a SmackDown, yeah, and not a lot happened. Something interesting happened on NXT. We don't normally talk about that a lot. We'll mention that tonight as well. It was fun. And we'll kind of do a quick little preview of the first couple of matches that have been announced for Bash in Berlin. And then we'll call it a do. How's that sound? Good?
I do like a do.
Okay. Much to do about nothing. But here we're much ado about wrestling. Monday Night Raw last week saw the return of the Terror Twins once again. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, with Damian Priest doing his best Undertaker impression once again, showing up behind America's new favorite couple, Liv Morgan and Dominik.
That man is never beating the bisexual Undertaker allegations. Those will forever stick.
Can anybody in the Judgment Day? Because it seems like at Raw, he's just going one by one and taking them out each week now. And there's only like 2 left that he can beat. So we'll see. But he took care of Carlito relatively easily. Then Finn Balor and the whole gang showed up. And then poor JD, man. I don't know how many more South of Heavens he can take.
Yeah, he's going to die.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
He probably has 2 concussions.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's crazy. And I'm, like I said last week on the show, man, I am all for this new Damian Priest arc and with Rhea Ripley as well. And because of this, at Bash in Berlin, we get a wonderful matchup, a great matchup, the Terror Twins against Liv and Dom. It's going to be something.
I wonder who's going to stand tall in that.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Between weight and height, I would say that the Terror Twins, have a little bit of an advantage in this one. But what a shot of Priest showing up behind them up in the stands, and he just head and shoulders above them, and his face. It was strictly one of the famous Undertaker images from a while back, kind of a reshot of it, if you will. And he's mentioned that is his favorite wrestler of all time. So it's good to see him kind of paying tribute to the Undertaker, and he is nicknamed the bisexual Undertaker for a reason. Not that he likes that name personally or calls himself that, but it's out there in the chats.
You know, there is one thing. I don't know if you saw this, but I think it was after Raw had ended, the next day there was a rumor that the Judgment Day was going to have a rebrand, and they were going to have a new name.
Uh-oh.
And that new name was Street Trash.
Street Trash?
It was going to be Street Trash.
No way. That's ridiculous.
So that was actually true. It's an awful name. Just why would you break something that doesn't need to be fixed in the first place? And apparently Finn Balor came up with that name, which is proving why he's the worst. So
never trust an Irishman. Come up with a name.
The good thing is that we are now in the Triple H era of WWE. And Triple H and those around him listen to the fans, because the backlash to this name change was so bad that they have apparently decided to kind of keep it as Street Trash as like a little nickname, but the rebranding is no longer going forward. Thank the Lord, because that name is horrid.
They're just going to be the bunk ass Judgment Day is what they should be.
I mean, Finn Balor should be arrested for his crimes for just thinking of that name. Like, that's insane. But man, this is
although he has one of the best sinister looks I've ever seen. His sinister look is incredible. Yeah.
I absolutely love Rhea Ripley. I actually really like Damian Priest. I'm all for this.
Me
all
too.
for this.
I'm in.
Dom catching all the heat from this, catching a little bit heated from that Logan Paul podcast. I don't know if you saw that. That was hilarious. So he was on Logan Paul's podcast, and Logan Paul, in one way or another, is not allowed to go to Japan for obvious reasons. If I won't really bring it up. You guys can look it up. But if you guys remember, he took a certain camera into a certain wood and showed a certain something that should not have been showed, and Japan was not happy. No. So Dominik goes on to this podcast and is like, because WWE just did Japanese story, he's like, why weren't you there? Are you shadow banned or something like that? Like, it was pretty funny. Look that up. Definitely give that a Google too. That was pretty great. But nah, the Judgment Days, no matter what, in the ring, outside of the ring, they're just killing it, dude. Love it.
Yep. Love it. Love everything about it. And we'll get more next week, I'd imagine, on Raw. It's kind of the one thing that's kind of carrying it right now, because we didn't have any Wyatt 6 this last week, and we had Alpha Academy versus American Lame, and it was okay. It's, you know,
it's American made, just in case you're wondering.
I call it American Lame. But I don't, you know, it's Chad Gable. Come on. It was an okay match, but you know, we got to see the kind of the Alpha Academy do their thing. It was good to see them fight, like, as the Alpha Academy, because normally you're used to seeing Chad Gable do everything and them just kind of be there and take a verbal beating after he loses. Like, that's kind of what
literally just happy to be there.
Yeah. So it was a good fight. Otis, you know, when he was walking out, he was kind of looking in the crowd going, what the heck are you doing in the crowd? Looking in the crowd like, Otis, everyone loves Otis. Who's he yelling at? Well, it turns out he was yelling at, well, the NXT champion, Femi.
North American champion.
North American champion. Yeah. And who has come out and said, open title, whoever wants to challenge me for my title, come on down. And Otis showed up on NXT the next night. It had it was a fun match. It was a fun. He had no chance. We all knew that, but it was a fun match.
I'm not gonna lie. So I'll be real. I don't really watch NXT.
Me neither.
So I didn't
because of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know who Obafemi was exactly. But during their last pay-per-view, he had a match, and one of the moves in that match went mega viral. I do not remember who he's facing, so apologies to me, I guess. But whoever he's facing, he gave them a Brock Lesnar F5, except that dude spun around like 2 or 3 times in the air, and it looked like a Tony Hawk 900.
Yeah.
It was one of the, and he fell like face first, face planted onto the mat. It's one of the wildest moves I've seen. I was like, oh my God, this dude is so cool. Like, who is this guy? And now I've seen like Obafemi, just like that one move got him over. Everybody's like, dude, this guy's a beast. Like, he's so good and everything. I'm kind of psyched. Number one, that they kind of promoted this match on Raw with him being in the crowd.
Yeah.
But number two, an open challenge is always good for business.
Yes, it is. And it was a fun match. Poor Tozawa got hit pretty hard. He took one for the team, but that made Otis upset. So Otis started going off at that point. He got ready for the worm. I'm like, go Otis, go! You know, go Otis, and then he missed and took a power bomb straight down, and that was the end of Otis.
Yeah. So with the match on Raw, I know this was kind of given, but Ivy Nile attacking Maxine on the side, that's still touch. I know, like I said, I know it was a given, but it's still nice to see.
I don't think I've seen Maxine wrestle since I started. Does she ever get in the ring?
I've seen her twice. She used to be really, really bad. I will say she used to be really bad. She's gotten better, but she's decent. Like I like it when she gets when Gable was still their leader, she had like the singlet thing. And when she would get like, I guess, mad or whatever, she would do what Gable / Kurt Angle does, and they, like, you know, you rip off the armband and the singlet, and you're just like, oh, like I love that. And she actually did a pretty good job for it, considering how small she is. She did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but no Wyatt 6, even though American made 1. It's kind of surprising. Chad Gable wasn't there because he was in France, because he was in the Olympics, or not at the Olympics, supporting his fellow American-made wrestlers. and had a wonderful promo there that just made me hate him even more. Every time he gets screen time, I hate him even more. But I love that I hate him. Yeah, you're supposed to. That's the whole point of it, and I love it. So, American Lame with their first win.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst team name I've seen on this Raw.
It's true. It's true. Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker again for the third time. I guess they just had to get it over with.
Yeah, because Sami Zayn deserves a rematch. It was a nice little 2 out of 3 falls match. But dude, everyone's talking about the bump that Sami Zayn took where Braun threw him over the barricade. That's some wild stuff. Yeah, and if you watch it, so it looked bad, as in it looked painful when you saw it on Raw. But someone got an alternate angle of it, and it looks even worse. That thing looks so painful. Definitely check that out. It's on Sami Zayn's Twitter. But that thing was just a brutal toss over the barrier, just landing kind of like face/shoulder first into a chair, just bouncing off of it like a rag doll and back out of the floor. I love it, dude. Look, I may not be like the biggest Sami Zayn fan, but that dude sells like no other. He sells. Good at it.
He sells, yes. Well, that's kind of his. Amazing. That's kind of what he does. Is he sells that he's getting hurt and he's down and out, and then here all of a sudden he shakes and he's back. Like that's kind of his game plan. But here we go: Sami Zayn, Jey Uso tag team against the Judgment Day coming soon.
It's probably going to happen, yeah, because they're going to end up reuniting with Roman. That's going to happen.
Love that. Speaking of reuniting over Roman, SmackDown, Roman Reigns did appear at the end, and boy, did he. Man, he gets such a boom when he, like, the aura of the atmosphere of the stadium or arena is just, when he comes in the room, it's insane, man. It's just awesome. And, you know, he did his thing again, but here's what I've noticed. Okay. When he came in at SummerSlam, Jacob Fatu was already down and hurt.
Yeah.
And wasn't at SmackDown either. I think that's on purpose because they want to set up maybe a Roman versus Fatu match.
You are 100% right from everything I've been reading so far.
Okay.
So I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, that when they originally signed Fatu, or Jacob Fatu, I should say, the reason that they kept him away instead of bringing him on immediately is because they were worried that he would basically outshine Solo Sikoa. Now that we've actually seen that man move, those worries were very much justified. He is so good. So he has the injury, so he's taking time off from the show, but that's basically because they don't want him to clash with Roman just yet. Because I can tell you right now, if him and Roman face off, that's going to be an incredible fight.
There's going to be a whole lot of men screaming in that ring very loud.
I will be one of them outside the ring. I will be one of them. Especially, like, they won't, because they're going to there's a bigger match probably on the card for WrestleMania. Yeah. But if I see these two dudes go at it at WrestleMania in Vegas, I'm taking my shirt off. This is happening.
I can't wait, because I'm going to be with you. It's going to be great. I don't know this guy, but now,
yes, you do. 100%.
Jacob Fatu did help the Bloodline get their tag team championship. However, I don't know if you do this or not, but the Freebird rules are in effect for the Bloodline, meaning Solo can choose anybody he wants to fight in those matches, and that's why they just carry both belts out and not being worn by the individual ones who won.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the Freebird rule enacted. I think the Wyatts were the last one to do it, and that was a while back. That's actually kind of cool to see. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that.
And that way they could still keep kind of Fatu off for a while as they, use both Tongans if they wanted to, which is the original ones and their X-Men suits that they wear. Crazy. I don't know if you do that or not, but it is official.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
So SmackDown, that was really it. However, as we move into a little bash in Berlin. I am not down at all for this KO Cody Rhodes match. I think it's kind of silly. Make me like it. Make me want to like it.
It was a little weird the way it was presented.
Yeah.
Because he basically tells Owens, like, hey, you're going to get this shot at the title. And Owens is like, nah, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
What? Like, I don't really like it. I have to look into it a little bit more. But I just looking at it, I'm like, that's weird. Don't do that. Especially because I'm a massive Kevin Owens fan.
Yeah,
so him being like, I'm okay. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, dude?
You know he's
like,
not going to win, though.
I know he's not going to win, but I love seeing him like at the top of the card. It's literally gifting you a match on a silver platter, and you're like, nah, fam. It's like, what?
Well, and Randy Orton is going to be fighting Gunther too.
Yeah,
we talked about that last week, but yeah, that's going to be obviously Gunther's going to win. I mean, unless they give Randy Orton his to tie the record, he could.
No, he's not taking it off Gunther that easily.
I know, but he is one away from tying the record for most titles. So
he is one away. He will never break the record because John Cena stands in his way.
That's true.
He is one away. You are right.
So, but yeah, so far those two matches, I'm just not that. Obviously, the star power is there, but the matches themselves, I'm just like not excited about. I'm more excited about the Rhea Priest versus Dominik and Liv match than anything right now. That's been announced.
They have a little bit of building to do, I guess is the easiest way to say it.
Yeah, because obviously SummerSlam just happened. And now they could build all the way to the next WrestleMania, and they have a lot of big events coming this fall and early next year to lead up to that too. So we're kind of in a weird time period right now, right? So
yeah. Speaking of this fall, still pissed about Survivor Series going to Vancouver instead of LA. What the hell is that about?
Vancouver.
Dude, that pissed me off. Ooh, that was bad.
Was it going to be in LA originally and they moved it?
That was the rumors that LA was getting Survivor Series. It was going to be at the Intuit Dome, the brand new arena for the Clippers.
The opening
that
in October.
That was the big old rumor going around. And then they're like, "Oh, it's going to be in Vancouver." I'm like, "What the
Vancouver?" I know we've had a lot.
Canadians don't deserve anything.
Didn't they have one in Montreal already this year?
No, I think that was last year.
Yeah. Okay. So we've had Lille, we've had France, we've had Scotland, we have Berlin now, so Germany, and now Canada.
And we had Australia for the Elimination Chamber.
Australia. Jeez, man.
Yeah. So I think the only two pay-per-view, or the only three pay-per-views, I should say, that have been in the States this year are the three main ones, being the Rumble, which I believe was San Antonio, I think. Mania, which was in Philadelphia, and then SummerSlam in Cleveland. So, I don't know, man.
One's coming up in Atlanta, right?
Bad Blood. That one's actually going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that being in Atlanta. That's fine.
You want to fly to Atlanta, check out Bad Blood, catch a Falcons game?
I'll pass because I'm already going to Vegas for the Falcons in December. Plus, like I said, I got to save as much money as I can now because Vegas Mania is going to cost me a little pretty penny.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to be the family's getting $10 Target gift cards for Christmas this year. That's
better than my family. My family's getting air.
Why no? Why? Yeah, there you go.
My presence is your gift. Congratulations. You're all worthy enough to stay within my presence.
I love that. So some other matches at Bash and Berlin. Actually, those are the main ones, right? That were announced. So Gunther, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and the mixed couples tag team match, which will be fun. Now, here's some predictions that I've read about, and you tell me if you're in or out of them. An interesting thing that did happen on SmackDown, which surprised me, is that Andrade lost to
Andrade.
Andrade. Sorry,
I'm not sure who Andrade is, but Andrade, yes, he did lose to Escobar.
Andrade lost to Santos Escobar.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an interesting one. That was for the number one.
I gotta go. Andrade.
Andandre, I think you said Andandre.
Oh man, too.
Like looking at who the hell is Andandre? It took me a second, but I believe that was for the U.S. title contendership, right?
Correct, which would be against LA Knight. Yeah,
yeah, which is interesting because I haven't seen Escobar do anything really since he turned on. Yeah, since he turned on Rey Mysterio. But then again, to be fair, I haven't really seen Andrade do anything since he came back at the Royal Rumble.
All he does is just fight Carmelo. That's it.
Fight forever, baby. Let's go.
They're going again on Friday, by the way. They spit it out.
So fight forever.
Yeah, they're going again. Crazy. So LA Knight and Escobar could be Bash in Berlin. But it'd be an interesting fight. Obviously, LA Knight's going to win. See, that's what none of these fights so far either predicted or like aren't close enough where you can be like, man, I can see it going the other way. Like it's crazy. And here's
so
another
far.
one. Yeah, okay. Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser in a 3-way. This is just predicted.
That one, Braun still wins that one. However, number one, I love that Ludwig would get a title shot. Yeah. And I love that he's getting out there as a singles competitor. But yeah, that's a Braun.
Yeah, and plus right now there's beef between Sheamus and Kaiser. So you got to think they're going to be kind of going towards each other.
Yeah, that beef will play into the match. But like, hey, Sheamus has great matches now. So I'm down for it. A 3-way or a triple threat? Yeah, I'd be down for it.
And then another one that's all but guaranteed to happen, we just don't know who it's going to be yet, is the Bloodline with their rules, so they could be whichever ones they want. Yeah. Will be going up against either DIY or the Street Profits. So that's kind of interesting there as well.
Did you see the Street Profits? Street Profits would be interesting because they haven't done anything for a while. DIY, I do really like DIY.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be fine. Honestly, I'd be fine with either one of those opponents.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we have already. But as they become official, we will give our predictions on it in 2 weeks because we'll be doing an actual preview and picks for Bash in Berlin. And I have a feeling we are going to be on the same side of most of them. I think it's going to be relatively close. I got some really good news that you want to hear right now. AEW, their biggest pay-per-view of the year is coming up. All in.
In Wembley.
Now, this has been reported. And we've talked about this on the show in the past. It has been reported that the amount of matches at All In is somewhere in the realm, wait for it, of 10 to 12. 10 to 12. This is going to go 4 hours, MT. This is going to at least 5 hours.
That's about 3 to 5 too many.
Including a Will Ospreay and MJF rematch, which last time they fought went an hour.
which will be great. I will say this. That match will be great.
Yes, I'm going to tune in just for that.
Two of the bigger wrestling YouTube pages, Cultaholic and Wrestle Talk, both released interviews with MJF yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I've seen half of the Wrestle Talk one. God, MJF is so great, dude.
He's great.
I love that guy.
Will Ospreay's great too. Both of those guys, if they could just fight forever, every card, AEW may start getting their ratings back because when they fight, it's must watch. That's for sure. Some of the other, obviously Swerve is fighting against Bryan Danielson, who just won't retire.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Swerve, obviously.
Bryan Danielson, dude. Come on.
Mariah May, who turned on Toni Storm, is fighting Toni Storm. That's going to be kind of a fun one because that was her prodigy. We all saw that coming.
I believe, if I remember correctly, Britt Baker is fighting Mercedes Moné for the title, right?
Yeah,
that'll be an interesting one. I'm like, okay.
Obviously, Mercedes Moné is so popular; it's going to be hard to see her lose. But yeah. What was her name? It's this when she was
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks. That's right. And also on The Mandalorian. Shout out.
Yes. Technically, she was. Yes.
She was on the show. I saw her. I was like, hey, that's.
Oh no, I meant that was technically her name in The Mandalorian.
Oh,
not
was
her
it?
like Mandalorian name, but like her credits name was.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Sasha Banks.
Right.
Great show. Check it out. So there you
I'm
go.
saying there's a Mandalorian named Sasha out there.
So 8 cards, 8 matches have been announced in the card. So look forward to 4 more being announced in the next 2 weeks for that one.
God damn it, Tony.
Or the next week and a half, I guess. Yeah, so we're not going to have a show next week because Heavy T is on vacation.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself about wrestling. And the only thing really happening is going to be All In. We'll talk about it the next week about
we'll talk about
All In happen, especially the MJF Ospreay match. That's going to be probably the most talked about, I'd imagine, and more on that. So there you go, man. Do you have anything else? Any news or anything else you want to? I went over all my bullet points.
Nothing major that I can think of.
I missed one. Was interesting, and that was Odyssey.
Oh yeah. Okay. Actually, this is something I wanted to bring up. I'm kind of down for seeing Xavier Woods go heel and just kind of turn on Kofi. Like
that's what looks like what's happening because you can see it in his face. He's not happy.
I'm kind of down for this. I don't know what a heel Xavier Woods looks like, but I'm kind of down for this. So let's see let's keep pushing. Let's see what happens.
You gonna wear that shirt? He has his Unicorn New Day shirt on, and then he has like the NWO knockoff that says like was it NDR on?
Yeah,
so like, I'll get you one. Yeah. So I like it, but man, dude, Odyssey is a big man.
He's a big man. Yeah, that's the easiest way to say it. He's a big man.
He's a
biggest man. Boy.
But also, prediction: family turning on family. Could the New Day, if they break up and go heel, could we see this play into Wyatt 6?
Over time, not immediately. But
not immediately, because I think Wyatt 6 and American Lame, have kind of reached its end almost. So there has to be another target here. It could be the Judgment Day, right? So I'm just trying to think of what I can see coming, and this New Day story kind of makes sense to me. So I don't know, just throwing it out there.
The lines are blurred. We will see.
Yeah, and I am just not a fan of the Final Testament at all. I just
they're okay. They're like
they don't excite me. They're just there. Sometimes I fast forward through their matches. I'm just like,
I mean, I guess that's better than being absolutely terrible.
So, that's true. There are some wrestlers on the card who we haven't seen in a year that are still on the website that I've never even seen wrestle once. So there you go.
True.
There's that too. So you have it, man. Besides that, do you have anything else?
No, man, I'm good. I think
Look at that. Everything. Short and sweet. That's what happens when you have kind of a weaker last week of wrestling, but still a lot to talk about as we did. And obviously, Bash in Berlin is coming to a pay-per-view or Peacock near you soon, and that's going to be exciting. Another get to wake up at early and watch wrestling at 10 a.m. I love it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's going to be early.
Yeah. Okay. You won't even be at work yet, so that means you could probably watch it on the big screen. Congratulations.
We'll see.
We'll see. He may still watch it on his phone or laptop. That's what he does. He loves it. All right, Heavy T. Again, we're off next week, so enjoy this show for an extra week. You can listen to it twice. Listen to it 3 times. All you new Apple viewers, listeners, welcome. We are happy to finally get on the platform after screwing with me for a month. We'll see you in 2 weeks as we give our Bash in Berlin official picks and predictions and talk about what happened at Wembley Stadium at All In. We'll see you soon, my fellow wrestler lovers. Boom.
Oi.